Well, certainly our goal each and every year is to become a team. You know, it's different chemistry. You lose some key guys. You bring some freshmen in, and you're trying to catch them up to speed. So the number one goal for us, certainly in the fall and in the early part of the spring, is to become a team. Certainly our goals out of conference, and I think this is for the Centennial Conference in general, but out of conference, I think it's really it's key that we all do pretty well out of conference, and with our strength of schedule this year, I think it's really important that we take care of business out of conference. And we got a tough slate ahead of us, opening up with Lynchburg and Ohio Wesleyan in both ranked teams in February. So I do think we're going to have our hands full. We're going to find out what this team's all about early in the season. We have a number of key returners in some different positions on our attack. We got Mike Bossity, who I think is one of the best finishers in the game. Certainly developed his dodging ability last year and feeding ability. Had a ton of assists for us. Was a goal scorer his freshman year, and then last year developed into a pretty even assist guy and goal guy, and is such a leader at that end of the field. Looking for big things out of Michael this year. Willie Ballantine had a coming out year last year. Really just came into his own. A strong Dodger, had some really big games for us down the stretch, and was the key to some of our success. I'm expecting a big year out of him as well. The rest of the attack, we got a bunch of people fighting, clawing, and scratching in there, some young guys, some older guys. It might be a little bit more by committee, that third spot, but we're really excited about our attack and certainly those two returners. At the midfield, Chad and Phil Gamble have really had great years the last couple of years. I think that they're very strong between the lines, a little bit of a throwback midi where they can play defense, they're good on ground balls, they can score goals, they're excellent in transition. Along with them, we'll have, you got Tommy Wink, who saw some time last year, John Barney, who might be in there as well, Ben Ross. And then we also have a bunch of freshmen that are going to be in that mix as well, that are going to be joining them to solidify the midfields. Our D midfield, which we feel is one of the strengths of our team, we're returning Wes Rudy, who came off a great season last year as a long stick midi. He's been a leader at that end. He's a junior now. We're expecting some really big things from him. Alongside of him is short stick D midi Sean Brown, who's also been a starter for us for the last year or two, and we think he's going to be a significant difference in between the lines for us as well. On defense, we have Connor Malillo, who's going to anchor our defense, and then we have a bunch of guys that are going to be fighting for time there. We got certainly Nick Zenobio is going to be one. He started for us at the end of the season last year. He's going to be fighting. Nick Wells, really happy with Anthony Doherty at this point. And then we got some young guys that are going to be fighting in that position as well. That one might be a little bit by committee as well. In the cage, we lost four-year starter Cameron Setian, who I think just had a phenomenal career here, was an excellent leader on and off the field, and we're certainly excited about our goalie play right now, but it's a little different. We had a four-year starter, so we have a senior, Tim Matesic, who's garnered that spot right now, I believe, and then I think we have four other goalies that are right there. That one's going to be interesting. We have a lot of depth at the goalie position, and I'm excited about the play so far in the cage. And our face-off position, Michael Sanzone had an injury at the end of last year, had a pretty darn good year last year. We expect big things from him this year, and he's our number one face-off guy. And we got a couple other freshmen that are battling there as well. But right now, we're looking for Michael to step up and have a really big year for us. Our freshman class, we're really excited about. We have a slew of freshman middies that are going to be fighting for time. There's 4, 5, 6 of them that are going to be in that mix. 2 or 3 of them are going to see significant time this year. Riley Aviles is a quick, shifty Dodger. His game's really coming along quite well, and he's adjusting to the college level. We also have Teddy Bossity, Michael's younger brother, that's going to be in that mix as well. Reed Ziegler, who's a big, strong athlete between the lines. Certainly Ross Andrews and Michael Wasik. They're all going to be fighting to be on that second midfield, certainly be a part of our third midfield as well. And they bring a lot of depth, and they're all a little bit different. So I think you're going to see some exciting play out of them. And the ones that are going to play for us are certainly going to be the ones that we feel develop the quickest. And right now, there's a few we have in mind, but there's 4 or 5 of them fighting for those spots at the moment. On attack, we feel really good about Sean Rogers. He's an IQ attackman, can finish the ball, lefty, righty, certainly feeds the ball just as well. Just a really, really smart attackman. And I think that's going to be really, really important in his role right now. He's going to be fighting claw and scratch to probably be that third guy. But there's some other guys as well. Michael Rama, who's a sophomore, that's going to be fighting for that position as well. That's a pretty deep position on attack, but Sean Rogers is a smart attackman for us as a freshman. On defense, we have 4 or 5 guys that are going to be fighting claw and scratching as well to get themselves a little bit of time this year. I think we learned a lot in the preseason, and from the fall into the preseason now, we have a lot more depth than I thought we were originally going to have with these middies coming on strong, these young guys, and I think that's really, really important. We feel that the strength of our team right now, from the fall to now, is certainly our D midfield. Our long stick midi with Wes Rudy, but we have 4 or 5 athletes, D middies, short stick D middies that are really tough, can dig up ground balls, understand the defenses, and are going to give us excellent opportunities in transition, which I think is also very, very critical. Well, we have a strong out-of-conference schedule that we're really, really excited about. We open up with Lynchburg, who's a top 10 team. We got Ohio Wesleyan up in Long Island. It's a top 20 team. We have Wesleyan coming in out of the NESCAC. We have a bunch of, we played W&L again this year at their place. So we have a great out-of-conference schedule. We're really, really excited about, and that's what we're focused most on. Right now, it's all about Lynchburg and getting ready for that game, and then we'll take it one step at a time. All the coaches in the Centennial, I think, are really focused right now on their out-of-conference schedule. We're going to have an opportunity to play in conference come mid-March, and we'll get ready for them as we move through the season. But right now, it's all about our first game, and that's Lynchburg, and then we'll move on to our next one. One of the big things that we certainly have to evaluate early on is we lost an incredible group from last year, incredible group of seniors, group of people, certainly great leaders for us, and we got our leadership developing on this team right now, and the experience that we lost last year, certainly at the defensive end of the field with Carlos and Josh Cantor. Carlos Pelez was one of the best defensemen I've ever coached, and one of the smartest defensemen I ever coached. Josh Cantor was tough as nails on the field for us. Though the experience and 4-year starters, along with Cam Setian in the cage, the biggest success for our season this year is how quickly we can develop. We have a lot of depth in the cage. Who's going to be our #1 goalie? And then certainly on defense, how quickly we can groom and polish some of the guys that are fighting to replace the shoes of Carlos Pelez and Josh Cantor. I think that's really important for the success of our season.